think I really love the fact that it actually includes the design thinking process and allows students to engage like deeply in their learning. I also really like that it's particularly hands-on and that the students are being active in their education. I also like that there's a high level of student agency, which I think is really great, and it allows students to be developing and solving problems that are real world problems and that are really quite unique to them or even like our local communities. And I also like that students are able to learn that failure is really important, and that in the long run it improves that overall outcome in the end. So I think that that's what I really like about the program. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Even though I kind of been working in that space, I went with another colleague, and I thought that it was really engaging. The activities that we did were kind of really what the students would be doing, so it was really valuable to us as educators to be kind of put in that same space that we wanted the students to be in. And I think one of the good things from the training is that you don't really need to be an expert or a master in anything, but someone who's able to facilitate good learning, and being able to know that you don't actually have to teach, but rather use that facilitation of activities and get the students doing is really important. And I think that's what I really liked about that workshop, is we actually did what the students would be doing too. Really easy to pick up and run with it. Like I said, I don't think you need to be an expert in any of the areas. I think you can learn stuff or areas as you go. I also think that it's more about that facilitation of the class. I think the instructions are really clear and easy to follow. There's also scope to add in extra things and kind of branch off if you've got that level of experience. But if you're a beginning teacher and you don't really know what you're doing, I think it's an easy in to be able to confidently teach a really good program. And yeah, like I said, it doesn't matter if you're a beginning teacher or you're an experienced teacher. I think there's lots of variation in how it can go too. Are really clear and easy to follow. There's also scope to add in extra things and kind of branch off if you've got that level of experience. But if you're a beginning teacher and you don't really know what you're doing, I think it's an easy in to be able to confidently teach a really good program. And yeah, like I said, it doesn't matter if you're a beginning teacher or you're an experienced teacher. I think there's lots of variation in how it can go too. We run as obviously as a small country town in South Australia. We have like a little bit of flexibility, or we've created flexibility actually in how we teach it. So at the moment we teach 5 lessons a week, and we have 3 singles, which are 45 minutes, and 1 double a week, and the students are taught in that way. In the past, we've managed to teach it in 4 50-minute lessons too. So we actually have some variation in the number of lessons that we've had. And like I said before, we actually teach ours as a SAFE unit, as an integrated learning unit. The hands-on nature of the course is probably the most exciting thing for me. Is you're not sitting down teaching them the theory of things like it's traditionally been done, but you're actually getting them, you might facilitate that learning to start with, and then it's over to the students to actually have a go. That level of student agency and students having the ability to select something that they're interested in really does allow for them to develop as learners as well. I think if you watch the growth of students over the period of time, while lots don't necessarily go on to continue their chosen business idea, I think the skill set that they learn for their learning and inside and outside of the classroom is really important. And probably one of the biggest highlights that I've had is a student actually winning the Shark Tank over the years, and also even others just coming away with like this newfound confidence in who they are, with their skill sets, and then they're using those skills that they're learning across other subjects as well, and then outside in their communities and stuff. So they don't necessarily always have to start their business, but that's a big bonus, I reckon. But certainly something that I think's a win as well. I think the resource, like the teaching resources, are absolutely amazing. Like I said before, you don't have to be an expert, or you don't have to have had any experience. I think the program is logically set out. There's lots of teaching materials in there. There's instructions on how to do it. I think you provide, that weekly update, which I think is really beneficial. And it's even good for older people like myself as reminders about where I should be, rather than going off on a tangent and those sorts of things. So it keeps, I think they are really good things. I also would like to recognise that the level of support that you guys provide, and if you're having any questions or you need help or anything like that, you guys are always really active and fast to reply and support in whatever means necessary. So I think you really do get bang for your buck, I reckon, in terms of the program and what it entails as well. To begin with, sometimes they struggle with the type of learning that is happening because it's not something, well, in our school, it's not a traditional way for them to learn. We have a very traditional development and delivery of lots of our other programs within the school. I think this one allows them to step outside the box and actually be more in charge of their own learning, to develop those skills that are so important within the classroom, but also will really help them when they go on to other subjects, but also when they leave school and go to university and those sorts of things. The actual skill set that they're learning is there. They love to solve problems, and sometimes their problems are not problems that we think we're solving to begin with, but as they figure out their way through things, I think they really see that. I think they really see that benefit and that excitement about, I've actually done something pretty positive and it's going to maybe potentially help someone. So I think the engagement throughout the program, I think also that ability to fail and fail fast is something, it's like a new concept to students too, that it's not part of our education system for students to fail. But I think in programs like this, the encouragement of failure and getting that business idea out there quickly and getting feedback on it to make sure it does make that customer solution fit is really important. And so suddenly they're learning, well, actually it's not a great solution, so then we can flip it up and have a crack at something else. Certainly would recommend it. I think it's really good. Like I said before, we've had lots of success over the years. And like I said, it's not just about students going on to win it. I think they're bonuses, to be honest. I actually think that skill set students come away with is ever so important in today's day and age, particularly in our workforces. And I don't think it matters if you ever become an entrepreneur. I think it's those skills that make you such a good employee, or able to utilize what they've learnt through this program. So I certainly would recommend it.